Ever scroll through YouTube and wonder, like, how does some creators just blow up?
Yeah.
While others are kind of stuck, struggling to get any views.
Totally.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into the strategies that can take a channel from 0 to thousands of subscribers.
Thousands.
We've got advice from seasoned YouTubers, a former YouTube employee, and even a tight beat producer who figured it out so well, he ended up in Chief Keef's DMs.
Wow. That's the dream, right?
That's the dream.
I think what's so interesting is that a lot of creators, I think, focus so much on just making good videos.
Right.
But there's so much more to it.
Yeah.
Our sources reveal just how important it is to think like a marketer, to understand the algorithm and to be strategic about promotions.
It's like you've got this amazing product, but nobody knows where to find it.
Exactly.
You need a solid strategy to get it out there in front of the right people.
Absolutely.
Speaking of strategy, one thing that really jumped out from our sources was consistency.
Yeah, consistency's king.
Yeah.
Tube Buddy, Lollipop Beats, Really Beats, they all emphasize that.
Okay, so beyond just uploading on a regular schedule, what does that actually look like?
So think about building a recognizable brand.
Okay.
Your thumbnails should have a consistent style. Your content should have like a predictable format.
Yeah.
Even your personality, like how you come across on camera, should be pretty consistent.
Right.
Remember that type beat producer who blew up when he niched down to only making Chief Keef style beats?
Oh, yeah. He basically eliminated his competition just by being that focused.
Exactly. He carved out his niche and he became irresistible to a very specific audience.
It's like he was the go-to spot for that sound.
Yeah. And that brings us to another really important point, niching down.
Okay, so niching down, that comes up everywhere. But what does it actually look like in practice?
Right.
Can you give our listeners an example?
Sure. So let's say you love making funny videos.
Okay.
Instead of competing in the massive funny videos category,
Right.
think about what makes your humor unique.
Okay.
Do you love making funny skits about video games? Are you a master of parodying movie trailers?
Okay.
Find that sweet spot where your passion and a specific audience's interests collide.
I like that.
So instead of funny videos, you might be the channel for hilarious Star Wars gaming skits.
So be specific rather than trying to please everyone.
Right. It's about becoming the big fish in a small pond.
I like that.
Rather than getting lost in the ocean.
Yeah.
And it's not just about attracting viewers, it's about understanding how YouTube's algorithm works.
Okay, the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this mysterious force that controls our destiny.
Right.
What did our sources say about how to please this digital beast?
Well, one of the keys is understanding metadata.
Okay.
Think of it as the secret language you use to talk to the algorithm.
So we're talking keywords, titles, descriptions, tags.
Yeah.
All that behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. And it's not just about stuffing your content with as many keywords as possible.
Okay.
It's about being strategic about where you put them.
Okay.
Early Beats, for example, he uses this technique called triple your keywords.
Triple your keywords?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
It's actually pretty simple.
Okay.
Let's say your video title is how to make a lo-fi beat.
Okay.
You would make sure that the words how to make lo-fi and beat appear in your title,
Right.
in your description, and in your tags.
So you're basically casting a wider net
Exactly.
to make sure that the algorithm knows what your video's about and recommends it to the right people.
Exactly. And there are tools that can help you with this. vidIQ, for instance, analyzes your metadata and gives you what's called an SEO score, showing you where you can improve.
It's like having a YouTube guru looking over your shoulder.
Right.
But even with perfect metadata, we still got to keep those viewers engaged once they actually click on our video, right?
Absolutely. And that's where attention-grabbing intros come in.
Okay.
Our sources really stress that those first 30 seconds are crucial.
Yeah, you got to hook them fast before they click away to something else. So what are some strategies to make those opening seconds really count?
Yuri von Hofwegen talks about the power of storytelling.
Okay.
Even if your content is informational, try to weave a story into it.
Okay.
Think about starting with a captivating question, a personal anecdote, or even a problem that your video will help them solve.
It's like you're giving them a reason to stick around to see what happens next.
Exactly. And it goes back to the Mr. Beast effect that Marcus Jones was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to deliver on what you promise in your title and thumbnail.
Right. If you overhype something and don't follow through, people are going to feel cheated.
Exactly.
And the algorithm will know.
It all comes down to respecting your audience's time and trust.
Right.
And once you've hooked them, you need a strategy to keep them engaged beyond just that one video.
Right, so that's where the concept connection comes in.
Exactly.
Creating a series of videos that flow together.
Yeah, think of it as building a YouTube ecosystem where viewers can easily discover more of your content. Marcus had a great example. He said a video about how to build a computer could be followed by videos about finding cheap parts, avoiding common mistakes, and installing specific software.
So you're giving them a reason to keep watching.
Right. You're essentially creating a content map that guides viewers deeper into your channel.
It's like building a Netflix series, but on your YouTube channel.
Right.
I love that.
Now, what about viewers who find your channel page directly?
Okay, yeah.
TubeBuddy emphasized how important it is to treat your channel page as your YouTube storefront. It needs to be visually appealing, informative, and easy to navigate.
Right.
Choose a compelling featured video.
Okay.
Design a high-quality banner image.
Yeah.
And write a concise channel description that tells viewers exactly what your channel is about.
So if someone lands on your page, they instantly know what you offer.
Exactly.
And why they should subscribe.
It's like the difference between walking into a cluttered, confusing store and a well-organized boutique.
And even a channel that feels dead can be revived.
Absolutely. Marcus shared a case study of a creator who brought his channel back to life not once, but twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
That's amazing. There's hope.
There's always hope.
Even if you're feeling stuck.
Yeah. He stressed how important it is to analyze your data to see what's working and what's not. Identify your target audience.
Right.
And refine your content strategy based on what you learn.
So you're treating your channel like a science experiment.
Exactly.
Testing and adapting.
Yeah. What about promotion?
Okay.
Can you reach new audiences outside of YouTube?
That's a good question.
Todd, the former YouTube employee we mentioned, he suggested leveraging external platforms to jumpstart your watch history and signal relevance to the algorithm. It's about strategically putting your content where your target audience is already hanging out online.
That's interesting because I always thought you should try to keep people on YouTube as much as possible.
Right.
So what would that look like in practice?
So let's say you made a video about the best budget-friendly gaming laptops.
Okay.
Instead of just spamming the link everywhere.
Okay.
Find relevant online communities where people are discussing that topic. Maybe it's a Facebook group for PC gamers or a subreddit about building gaming PCs.
Okay.
Share a helpful clip from your video. Offer some advice.
Okay.
And then casually mention that you have a full video on your YouTube channel with more details.
So you're providing value and making them curious instead of just like shoving your link in their face.
Exactly. It's about positioning yourself as a resource, not an advertiser.
I like that.
And that's just one strategy for promoting your channel beyond YouTube.
Okay.
We'll explore some more platforms and tactics in the next part of our deep dive.
This is fascinating. I'm already rethinking my whole YouTube strategy.
I know, right?
Can't wait to dive into more specifics in the next part.
Yeah, me too.
Huh?
So let's talk about some of those specific platforms and tactics for promotion.
Okay, perfect timing. I'm ready.
Right, so beyond the big ones, like Facebook and Instagram.
Right, the obvious ones.
Think more niche communities like Facebook groups, subreddits, Discord servers. Okay. Places where your target audience is already hanging out.
Right.
But the key is to be strategic, not spammy.
Right, like Marcus Jones was saying, don't just barge in and be like, hey, watch my stuff.
Exactly. It's about offering genuine value.
Right.
So imagine you made a video tutorial on how to create custom character skins for a popular video game.
Okay.
Find a Facebook group or a Discord server dedicated to that game.
Okay.
Share some cool tips from your video. And then mention that you have a full tutorial on your channel for those who want to learn more.
So you're kind of like teasing them with valuable information.
Exactly.
Instead of just being like, hey, watch my video.
Right. You're establishing credibility and trust.
Right.
And there are even platforms beyond social media that can be super effective.
Okay.
Dave Nick, he talks a lot about using Quora and SlideShare.
Okay. I use that to find answers.
Yeah.
But I've never thought about it for promotion.
So think about using those for more long-form content.
Okay.
Let's say you've made a video essay about the history of synthesizers.
Okay.
Find relevant questions on Quora about music production or synth history. Write a detailed, thoughtful answer, and then subtly link to your full video for people who want to learn more visually.
So you're like actually participating.
Exactly.
And adding to the community.
Yeah. And what about SlideShare?
Okay.
It's a similar idea.
Okay.
But with presentations.
Okay.
Imagine turning your synthesizer essay into a really visual slide deck. Upload it to SlideShare and include a call to action to watch the full in-depth version on your YouTube channel.
I like this. So you're creating multiple entry points that lead back to your channel.
Exactly.
Very strategic.
What about all those short-form video platforms?
Okay, yeah, like TikTok and Instagram Reels, are those worth it?
Absolutely. Those can be gold mines for driving traffic to your YouTube channel.
Okay.
Nick actually talked about how he makes thousands of dollars through TikTok's creator program.
Wow.
While promoting his YouTube channel.
That's awesome. So you can actually make money and promote your YouTube at the same time.
Exactly.
How does he do it?
He's great at making those short, captivating videos that leave you wanting more.
Okay.
He might share a quick tip, a funny behind-the-scenes moment, or even a teaser for an upcoming YouTube video.
Right. Okay.
And he always includes a clear call to action, telling people to check out his YouTube for the full experience.
It's like a to be continued.
Yeah.
But instead of waiting a week for the next episode, you can just go right to YouTube.
Exactly.
This is blowing my mind.
And here's one that really surprised me, using platforms like Rumble and BitChute to promote your YouTube videos.
Wait, those are basically YouTube competitors?
I know, right?
Why would you promote your YouTube on their platform?
It seems counterintuitive, but it can be really effective.
Okay.
Think of it as tapping into new audiences who might not have found you on YouTube.
Okay, so you're kind of like expanding your reach to new places.
So let's say you have a video on a controversial topic that might not fly on regular YouTube.
Okay.
You could upload a short attention-grabbing clip to Rumble or BitChute, and in the description, tell people to check out your YouTube channel for the full, uncensored discussion.
Interesting. So you're using these alternative platforms to bypass restrictions.
Exactly.
And reach more people.
Yeah. And don't forget about those blogging and microblogging platforms.
Okay.
Dave Nick has had a lot of success with Medium, DeviantArt, even Twitter.
So Medium, you can share like longer articles.
Yeah.
That go into more detail.
Exactly.
And then DeviantArt for visual artists, they could showcase their art.
Right.
Linked to their YouTube tutorials.
And Twitter's all about crafting those engaging threads. Dave actually shared a story about how he gained thousands of views and potential customers from a single Twitter thread.
It's like a mini-series.
Yeah.
But on Twitter.
So the key takeaway here is to repurpose your content across multiple platforms to reach different audiences.
But how do you make sure that those external views actually translate into YouTube growth?
Remember those upload defaults we were talking about?
Yeah.
TubeBuddy had a great tip for using those to optimize your channel for search.
Okay, yeah, those can save so much time.
Right.
Because you can just add information automatically.
Exactly.
How do they help with the external promotion, though?
So you can include keywords related to your channel in the upload default section.
Okay.
This will help people who find your content on other platforms to easily find your YouTube channel when they search for those topics.
So you're kind of like leaving a trail.
Yeah, like breadcrumbs.
That leads back to your channel.
Exactly. And remember, don't be afraid to experiment. What works for one creator might not work for another.
Right.
You got to track your results and see what resonates with your audience.
Yeah, figure out what works for you.
And speaking of unique approaches, Yuri Van Hofwegen had some really cool strategies for boosting engagement.
Okay.
Especially with YouTube Shorts.
Okay.
Have you heard of his looping strategy?
Looping?
Yeah.
Is that some kind of editing trick?
It is.
Okay.
He suggests seamlessly looping the end of your short back to the beginning.
Okay.
To subtly encourage people to watch it multiple times.
So they might not even realize it's looping.
Right?
Isn't that kind of sneaky?
It can be, but think about those mesmerizing GIFs or video clips that you just watch over and over.
Oh, yeah.
The key is to make sure your content is actually engaging and enjoyable.
Right.
If it's done well, people might not even notice the repetition.
Okay.
And they'll get a double dose of your awesome content.
As long as it's not annoying.
Right.
It could be a good strategy.
Exactly.
Okay. What other short strategies did he recommend?
He's also a big fan of using end screens on shorts to promote your other videos.
So instead of just like ending abruptly, you can lead them to another video.
Exactly. It's like creating that mini-series experience.
Right.
And enticing viewers to keep watching.
I like that.
And when people watch multiple videos in a row, that sends strong signals to the algorithm.
So you're training the algorithm to like...
Exactly.
To see that you're valuable.
And Yuri actually has a whole framework for this kind of KVS strategy.
Okay, KVS, what is that?
It stands for keyword value and storytelling.
Okay. Break that down for me.
So first, you got to identify the right keywords that people are using to search for content like yours.
Okay, so understanding what your audience is looking for.
Exactly.
And using those words.
Yeah, in your titles, descriptions, tags.
Okay, makes sense.
Then comes the value part.
Okay.
Your video has to deliver on what those keywords promise.
Right, so don't be clickbaity.
Exactly.
You got to actually provide value.
And finally, the storytelling aspect. This is what makes your content memorable and engaging. Even if you're making a tutorial or an informational video, find ways to weave a story into it.
Okay.
You know, start with a hook, build suspense, keep people on the edge of their seats.
So you're making mini movies.
Yeah.
Even if it's about something technical.
Exactly. And Yuri has used this strategy to build multiple channels to over 100,000 subscribers each.
Wow.
He even went full-time on YouTube within 9 months of starting.
That's amazing. It shows that with the right strategy and consistency, you can really make it happen.
Absolutely. And even if your goals are a bit smaller, the KVS strategy can still help you build a community, share your passion, and have an impact with your content.
That's really inspiring. I feel like we've covered so much.
I know.
But I still feel like there's more to learn.
You're right. There's always more to learn.
Yeah.
So let's dive into some additional tips and tricks that can really help you stand out and make content that connects with your audience.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, so we've talked about niching down, mastering metadata, promoting beyond YouTube.
Yeah.
What other little nuggets of wisdom did we find?
Okay, so this one might sound a little counterintuitive, but one of our sources actually emphasized the importance of embracing criticism.
Embracing criticism?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember that Movavi vlog video where they decided to make videos about finance? A topic they knew very little about?
Yeah, that didn't go so well.
It did.
Even though they got views, the comments were brutal.
Yeah, and that's a perfect illustration of why expertise and authenticity are so important. If you're going to make content about something, you got to know what you're talking about.
Right. It's like trying to teach someone how to bake a cake when you've never even used an oven.
Exactly.
People can tell.
And speaking of trust, this next tip kind of blew my mind.
Okay.
TubeBuddy recommended allowing others to reuse your content under a Creative Commons license.
Hold on. Isn't that risky?
It is.
What's to stop people from just stealing your ideas and taking credit for your work?
It's a calculated risk, but it can pay off big time.
Okay.
Think of it as free promotion.
Okay.
If someone uses your clip in their video, it could bring new viewers back to your channel.
So you're giving up a bit of control for the chance to reach more people.
Exactly. It's like scattering seeds of your content and hoping they grow into new subscribers.
And it's not like they can just take your whole video.
Right. Creative Commons requires them to give you credit. And usually it's just short snippets anyway.
So it's almost like a little teaser.
Exactly.
To get people to watch the full thing.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to look at it.
For sure.
And here's something you might not have thought about. Your channel name can actually hurt you in search.
Really? How?
Think about it. If your channel name is too generic, it's going to get buried in the results.
Right.
TubeBuddy used the example of the channel Dream. There's probably thousands of channels with that word in the name.
Yeah, you're going to get lost.
Exactly. So you got to be strategic with your channel name, just like your titles and descriptions.
Makes sense.
Ideally, you want to include keywords related to your niche, or at least make sure those keywords are prominent in your channel description.
So it's all about giving the algorithm clues.
Yeah.
So it knows what your channel's all about.
The more signals you send, the better.
Makes sense. And speaking of signals, vidIQ had some interesting tips about tailoring your thumbnail strategy.
Okay.
Based on whether your content is trending or evergreen.
Right, because those two types of content have very different shelf lives.
Right.
A thumbnail for trending content needs to grab attention fast.
Okay.
It's got to say, this is hot, click now before you miss out.
Right, because trending topics are all about urgency.
Exactly.
Like, got to get it while it's hot.
What about evergreen content?
Okay, yeah.
It's all about long-lasting value.
Right.
So your thumbnail should focus on clearly explaining what the video is about and why it's worth watching, no matter when someone finds it.
It's like the difference between a flashy magazine cover and a classic novel.
And let's not forget about watch time. That's huge.
One of those important things.
Yeah. Really Beats had a good tip for maximizing watch time on type beat videos.
Oh, okay. I'm all ears. I love type beats.
Yeah.
But sometimes I find myself skipping around.
Yeah.
So how do you get people to watch the whole thing?
Hugh recommends keeping them under 3 minutes.
Really? Less is more?
Yeah, it seems counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But shorter videos tend to have higher watch time percentages.
Okay.
Which makes the algorithm happy.
So it's better to have a shorter video that people actually watch.
You're right.
than the longer one that they only watch part of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the length.
Okay.
Marcus Jones talked about structuring your videos to front load the most exciting parts.
Okay, so like starting with a bang?
Yeah, you gotta hook the viewers right away.
Okay.
And give them a reason to stick around.
Keep them on the edge of their seats.
Yeah, and Yuri van Hofwegen emphasized the importance of visual engagement.
Okay.
He recommends using techniques like zooming in and out, adding subtitles, using dynamic transitions.
Right, because it's not just about what you're saying.
Exactly.
Is that how it looks?
It's gotta be visually appealing.
Okay.
Especially in the age of TikTok and Instagram, where people are used to those quick cuts and flashy visuals.
And remember those upload defaults we were talking about?
Yeah.
TubeBuddy had another great tip for using those.
Okay.
To make sure your videos are properly categorized and tagged.
Yeah, it's all about consistency.
Right.
So by picking a default category and adding tags that apply to most of your videos, you're making it easier for the algorithm to understand what your content is about.
It's like setting yourself up for success from the start.
Exactly.
Wow, we've covered so much ground in this deep dive.
We have.
It's incredible how much goes into making a successful YouTube channel.
It's definitely more than just pointing a camera and hitting record. You got to understand a platform, be willing to experiment, and keep learning.
So what's the one key takeaway for our listeners who are out there trying to grow their channels?
I think the biggest thing is that YouTube's success is a journey,
Okay.
not a destination.
I like that.
It's about being creative and strategic and always adapting to the ever-changing world of YouTube.
So don't be afraid to try new things, learn from your mistakes,
Yeah.
and most importantly, have fun.
Absolutely. If you're not enjoying it, it's going to show.
Find your passion, be yourself, and let your unique voice shine through.
As you're going on this journey, here's one last thought.
Okay.
Imagine you could go back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice about YouTube.
Oh,
What would it be?
that's a good one. I'm going to have to think about that.
I know, me too.
Thanks for joining us this deep dive into YouTube growth.
Yeah, this was fun.
We'll see you next time.
See ya, Yaniant.